Hi there, I'm Dr. Funke Afolabi Brown. I'm the founder of Restful Sleep MD, where I help busy professional women and their children achieve restful sleep so that they can really thrive and reach their fullest potential. So this is the time of the year when, the summer vacations and things like that are coming to an end. Boo-hoo, depending on what what camp you're in, and school is starting. So around now you might be rushing to get the school supplies, trying to figure out what the after school activities are like, trying to help, your child reflect on what goals you want them to achieve in the new school year. But one critical piece of this planning to go back to school is their sleep. So sleep is so critical to our kids learning, to their emotion regulation, to their mood, to, their ability to stay healthy, to stay fit. And it affects their learning in such a significant way, especially our teenagers. And as a result of that, I wanted to talk about some of my, I would say, 6 top tips to getting their sleep back to ready for school. I'm going to be talking about my top 6 tips to getting your child's sleep back on routine for school. Okay, so the first piece is, how much sleep does your child need? Now, the American Academy of Sleep Medicine and the National Sleep Foundation do have recommendations around what sleep your child should be getting. And this varies by age. So for school children, say between age 6 and 13, they're expected to sleep anywhere from 9 to 11 hours, okay? And then your teenager from age 14 to 17 should be getting about 8 to 10 hours of sleep. That sounds like a decent amount, but they are not being lazy. Their bodies just really need that sleep. So now over the summer, it may be that your child's sleep has just shifted really because, of course, the rules are less lax. They don't need to wake up early for school and things like that. I would say the best thing to do, number one, would be to start to shift your child's sleep wake up time. Number one would be to shift your child's wake up time. Now, that's really important because we have this internal clock or circadian rhythm, right? And so with the shift over the summer, things may have drifted. So you're trying to bring things back to a schedule that's similar to the school. Now, it's hard to do that like overnight. So if they're waking up at 11 a.m. and they need to get up at 6 a.m., it's going to be hard to suddenly say, school starts tomorrow, I need you to shift by 5 hours. I mean, it's doable. They're just going to be miserable. So I would say about 2 to 3 weeks before then, start getting them to wake up about 15 to 20 minutes earlier. And then every few days, you continue to wake them earlier. And that will help get them to the place where they need to be. Depending on your child, they may be able to move faster than others. Okay, that's really, really important. So number one is shifting their wake up time. Number two is having conversations with them about electronics, right? So if you're like my family, we let them be a little bit. So they spend more time on, a lot more downtime, spend more time, chatting with their friends, playing video games and things like that. Okay. So now as school starts, it's important to start having those conversations. We have to figure out how we're going to make sure that this does not get in your way of sleep. And I think the important thing to do is, your kids are smart. Have those conversations about why. What are the electronic devices doing and how will it affect their sleep health? Now, for me, there are 2 things I really talk about. Number one is that blue light. When you're bathed in that blue light, especially if you have an iPad or a phone very close to you, what it does is it suppresses our brain's production of melatonin. Now, melatonin is the sleep hormone. It's a hormone of darkness. So when your brain does not register, when your brain registers light, it actually makes that almost like a tap shut off when it comes to that melatonin production. And so your brain thinks it's still daytime. And so that makes it hard to fall asleep. The other piece is just the activation our kids get, right? They're hyper, they're more stimulated when they're using their devices. If they're playing video games, they may be excited. And those things will not necessarily help them fall asleep. In addition, if your child is older, they may have they may be on social media platforms, they may be in different chat rooms, which, the interruptions they will get from those texts and things like that can also make it hard to get the restful sleep they deserve. Number three, I would say, is limiting the snacking and really starting to set a schedule for meal times. So if your child's been, eating late at night, or, eating, having breakfast much later, it's really time to start shifting those things, because our body's internal clock or circadian rhythm not only responds to light, but also responds to various what we call environmental cues. So meal times is definitely one of them. So if you can start to set a schedule that starts to be similar to what their schedule is going to be in terms of their meal times in school, that would help shift things better. And definitely you want to avoid those late night snacks, heavy meals and things, because it only will disrupt their sleep even more. Now, number four is exposure to bright light. Again, that circadian rhythm is very responsive to the lights on the outside. So exposing them to bright light in the morning, open those curtains, get them outside, that natural light. Even on a cloudy day, the amount of light that you're getting from, the sun and things, even if it's behind the clouds, is really phenomenal at helping promote alertness. So start to expose them to bright light as soon as they wake up in the morning. Another thing, number five, is exercise. Exercise really promotes alertness. It helps build their sleep drive for the following night, and it helps them get really good deep sleep. So get them outdoors. It doesn't have to be something crazy. Let them go on a walk, let them walk the dog. Things like that are really helpful to help your child get good sleep and to help to start to shift things, right? And then number six, which is the last but not the least, is be a good role model, right? So our children are paying attention to what we say, what we do, what we eat. They're really paying attention. And so no matter how much we try to tell them what to do, the best way they can learn is by the things they watch us doing. So if we're telling them, well, we need to prioritize your sleep, and we need to start charging our phones and devices outside the room, then we should be doing the same thing, right? Because that's how they're learning. We teach when we do. And so be a good role model, one, because that's going to help overall your own sleep health, right? And that also sets the foundation for good sleep health for our family. All right, so that's it. If this was helpful, I would love it if you like this video, if you share, you subscribe to my channel. That way, if once new content comes up, you will be the first to know. And if you're a busy mom out there trying to do all the things, you need time for yourself. And the best one of the ways by which you can create time for yourself is by prioritizing your own sleep. And if you go on over to the show notes, you'll see a way to connect with me so we could get you sleeping better. Until next time, I hope you rest well.